51, Grace Ventura. Number 22, Taylor Swift. Number OMG, Dylan May Small. Number 1945, Malice Aforethought. Number 1931, Mickey Mental. Number 1525, Pocket Chain. Number 777, Rough Rider.
going up against Scarlet Knockout for the Bombshells. Bombshells are down to just 2 blockers, though. They've got 2 skaters parked in the penalty box right now. Lulu Dallas multi-batch delivering an express mail message to that jammer. Look, people tumbling all over the place there in the first turn. Meanwhile, Kevin Cadavers skates on through the first turn on a scoring pass, picks up her points, and she calls it off as the Bombshells jammer had shaken out of the pack as well.
Coffin Draggers pick up another 4 points in that last jam.
Malice Aforethought is going to be doing the jamming for the Bombshells here up against Victoria Van Gore for the Coffin Draggers. This jam is underway. Victoria Van Gore thought about the inside, changed her mind and went up high, and now it's kind of hemmed into the middle. Meanwhile, both jammers at the same time, both take a tumble. Victoria Van Gore gets back up. Nobody's established lead jammer yet, so. And just like that, Malice Aforethought shakes loose, and she is the lead jammer.
Victoria Van Gore right behind her.
Malice Aforethought gauges how far she's got back to the pack, tries to go by. And that's going to do it for that jam. Malice Aforethought calls it off after picking up a couple of points.
Skid Vicious back up on the line up against Skeletina for the Coffin Draggers.
Just under 6 minutes to go here in the first quarter. It's a 25-14 lead for the Coffin Draggers. And this one is underway. Both jammers patiently approaching the pack. Skeletina thought low, went back up high, and meanwhile, out on the front end, that is going to be Skid Vicious shaking loose as your lead jammer for the Bombshells. Pack is barely moving, so Skid Vicious is going to try to get some points here. Gets back up to the pack. Feinted high, ducked down to the inside. Skid Vicious got by the jammer, picked up that last point. 5 points for the Bombshells. 25-19 Coffin Draggers as we get set for the next jam. That's going to be Alibi. No, it isn't. This is going to be a power jam for the Bombshells. Malice Aforethought is going to be setting up to do the jamming here as a penalty was called on that jammer for the Coffin Draggers in the last jam. So chance here for the Bombshells to get a whole lot of points on the board. Her blockers will be solely focused on getting her through the pack as many times as possible. Pack breezes on around like a bunch of elderly people walking in a mall on a Saturday morning as they come around the far turn here. That front wall is confident in their strength. Malice Aforethought reestablishes behind that back blocker there. Run down off onto the infield by Laura Stabs. Now reestablishes. Coffin Draggers doing a good job of keeping this pack staggered and keeping this pack moving. If you can't catch him, you can't pass him, and if you can't pass him, you can't score points. Malice Aforethought takes a tumble, and then gravity gets the best of her. She slides down on the infield, but able to get back up and reestablish behind the skater that knocked her off. So she is now coming around for her first scoring pass. Her blockers doing everything they can. Got by a couple, knew the clock was about to run out, and let it go.
Let's see how many points Malice picked up in that last one. Looks like she got 3 points for the Bombshells.
Good penalty kill there by the Coffin Draggers to keep the damage from that power jam down to a minimum. Meanwhile, squaring up in the jammer line is going to be your captain of the Bombshells, Gold Digger, against the co-captain of the Coffin Draggers, Craven Cadavers. Meanwhile, Gold Digger able to push that last blocker far enough away, and the blocker had to be called off, getting more than 20 feet away from the pack. Now the pack picks up some speed and gets going. Craven Cadavers is free of the pack. Gold Digger gets on by, gets her points, calls that one off. We've got our first lead change. We're looking at 26-25 Bombshells now. This is any indication it's going to be another hard-fought bout just like our first bout tonight.
I agree. These have been some pretty close games.
Victoria Van Gore is jamming for the Coffin Draggers. And Old Greg has terrible eyesight. Spanklin D. Roosevelt is jamming for the first time tonight for the Bombshells. Trying to fight her way through. It's a heck of a battle. Those blockers in the back are doing great with the Coffin Draggers blocker, and those front blockers are really making life hard for Spanklin D. Roosevelt. Trying to fight her way through. Nothing doing, nothing doing. The Coffin Draggers blockers are using everything they can. And eventually they are called off by the referees and Spanklin D. Roosevelt, your lead jammer. Not a lot of time left in the jam, though.
Nope, and they are ready and waiting for her in the back of the pack.
That back wall, the Coffin Draggers lined up. She goes up, ends up running into the back end of a blocker. Meanwhile, the Coffin Draggers jammer still trying to shake loose. Victoria Van Gore now free. And that's going to do it for that jam. It's been a defensive struggle so far, there's no doubt about it. That's going to be Skid Vicious jamming for the Bombshells, lining up against... well, there's going to be an official timeout before we get to that. Spoiler alert, it was Skeletina.
Where are the Coffin Draggers fans out there? Ooh, I see one excited little Coffin Dragger fan, that's for sure. Where are the Bombshells fans? Oh, Dragger fans, you've got some competition.
Fans, while the regulators talk this one over during this official timeout, let's go ahead and talk about a couple of our sponsors. Timmy's Tees, custom printed t-shirts for companies, events, clubs, special occasions. Custom designs are available as well as embroidery. Visit timmytees.net or visit them at 2560 East Bell Road, Suite B in North Central Phoenix. And don't forget, our next bout is 2 weeks from tonight, November 11th. Come see us for the next 2 games, another doubleheader. The Brutal Beauties are going to be taking on the Schoolyard Scrappers. A couple of 1-0 teams taking each other on. For the second bout, it's going to be the Bombshells taking on the Doomsday Valkyries. Doors open at 5, first whistle at 6 p.m., just like tonight. Be here. End of sentence. Be here. I'm not giving you any other options.
I like that. If you've ever been looking for some all-natural products, look no further. Siphon Draw Apothecary Shop has all-natural, non-toxic, handcrafted skincare products made by our very own regulator, Dolly de los Muertos. Visit them at the Goldfield Ghost Town on the historic Highway 88, or you can grab any Coffin Dragger or Bombshell, and they can help you get the products that you need. Go visit Dolly. She's the nicest person I've ever met in my life, and her products are great. I use a lot of them, and honestly, her bath bombs are great. The lip balm is amazing. I used some earlier today. Go check out Siphon Draw Apothecary.
And it looks like we're ready to go here. Lining up on the jammer line, wearing a stealth jammer helmet, a black star and a black helmet. That's going to be Skeletina once again, going up against Skid Vicious. Skid Vicious right to the inside, and she has gone and on through. Skeletina thought she'd follow, but ended up caught in jet wake and fell onto the infield. Skid Vicious right on through. Looks ahead, Skeletina's free of the pack. Skid Vicious is going to try to get some points here. Waiting for her blockers to line things up. Goes to the high side, then down to the inside, trying to fight her way past. Ends up getting bumped off onto the infield by Lilu Dallas Multibash. And she goes ahead and calls it off before Skeletina can catch up and score any points of her own.
Oh, I see lots of penalties on both sides. These are going to be some really thin packs tonight.
Now lining up on the jammer line for the Coffin Draggers is Alibi, going up against Dirty Carry for the first time for the Bombshells. Old Greg and his terrible eyesight appreciate the bright yellow knee pads. I will always know which one is Dirty Carry. And like that, she has gone and on through, and she is going to be your lead jammer here for the Bombshells.
She is also one of the newest Bombshells, just recently graduated from our Fresh Meat program.
Ali Bai is now shaken loose as well, about half a track behind the pack. Dirty Carry catches up to the pack. That front wall defense, once those Coffin draggers get linked up, it is hard for anybody to get through. Dirty Carry calls that one off after picking up exactly 1 point on that jam. So we're going to line up now for the last jam of the first quarter. The clock is at quadruple zeros, so this will definitely be the last jam of this quarter. And that's Craven Cadavers, and she is doing battle against that. Turns out after review, clock expired before the break started, so let's wait and see what's going on here.
Ladies and gentlemen, during this break, we are going to have some more t-shirt throwers.
All right, fans. Yeah, go for it. I don't usually accept.
Make some noise for a free t-shirt.
Let them hear it, let them hear it. If you like a t-shirt, they ain't gonna throw it if they don't know you want it.
Look at those cuties run. I believe those are Married to the Mob's kids. She is a schoolyard scrapper. Thanks, ladies. All right, everybody, get your raffle tickets ready because we're going to call some winners. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our first raffle winner, we are raffling off a signed photo of the Bombshells as well as a gift certificate to Doggy Daycare. So our first winner is going to be 245-3964. 245-3964. Come claim your prize if you are the lucky winner. Our next raffle winner is going to be 245-4144. That is 245-4144. Are you the winner, Carla? Ooh, our very own Carla Dang is one of our raffle winners. Oh, as she does a cute little disco dance for me. Thank you. Those velvet shorts are killing me. I love it. We have about 3 minutes left in this quarter break. Go visit our ACDD snack bar. Go outside, get something from the food truck. Check out our vendor village. Maybe get some popcorn. I don't know, grab another beer before it's all gone. You know what's awesome? Really great clothing. And you know who has really great clothing? Plagued Fitness, providing those infected by fitness, roller derby, and healthy living with clothing for that contagious lifestyle. Visit their website at plaguedfitness.com. Fun fact, our very own pocket change is Plague Fitness. And her daughter, Pikachu, also skates for the Schoolyard Scrappers. Hi, Peek.
Fans, tomorrow right here at the Hall of Dames, Derby Dames are partnering with the American Red Cross. It got really quiet all of a sudden. Partnering with the American Red Cross to host a blood drive. That's tomorrow, Sunday, October 29th, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. right here at the Hall of Dames. I believe we've gotten word that all appointments are done, but you can still show up and see if you can be squeezed in on standby, and they'll squeeze some blood out of you. Red Cross will have a full blood drive station set up, so come donate next to your favorite Derby Dame skaters. You can sign up at redcrossblood.org. Sponsor code Derby, redcrossblood.org. Sponsor code Derby.
The Arizona Derby Dames are also partnering with St. Mary's Food Bank. So, to help keep food on the tables of the Arizona communities, for your convenience, we have set up donation boxes over by the ticket booth for collecting your non-perishable food donations. Thank you for donating. If you're coming to check out the bout next month, bring your canned food with you. It would be greatly appreciated. I found a phone. It has been turned into me. If someone is missing a pink phone, it was left by the porta potties. I'm guessing it's a Derby person. Come get it from the announcer's booth. I'm guessing it's a coffin dragger because I see lots of likes toward Queen Ruby. Oh, haha, just kidding. I think it is Ruby's phone. Baby, I have your phone.
And we are back underway, getting back to the action here. That's going to be Malice Aforethought lining up on the jammer line for the Bombshells, going up against Craven Cadavers for the Coffin Draggers, and this jam is underway. And Craven Cadavers shakes her way on through, and she is the lead jammer. Malice Aforethought tried to sneak by on the inside, but took a tumble, ended up on her backside. Reestablishes just behind the skater that knocked her out, and she is free as well. Meanwhile, Craven Cadaver's fancy footwork tiptoes her way through on the inside of the track, and she's going to call the jam off after picking up those 4 points for the 4 skaters that she passed. Something tells me this game is going to be neck and neck clean on the way through, just like our first bout. That's going to be Skid Vicious doing the jamming for the Bombshells and Victoria Van Gore for the Coffin Draggers. A lot of action in this pack right here. Victoria Van Gore leaves them in the dust, and she's on through as her lead jammer. Skid Vicious fighting, pushes that last blocker up out of the way. Just saw somebody get a rude shoulder there from the pivot for the Coffin Draggers. A lot of action going on if you watch the inside of that pack. Meanwhile, Victoria Van Gore goes ahead and calls that jam off after running squarely into the back of a red-shirted blocker. Setting up now is going to be Skeletina for the Coffin Draggers, going up against Gold Digger for the Bombshells.
Ooh, the score is getting pretty close. We'll see if we have another lead change after this jam.
Gold Digger to the inside, then tries to go to the outside, but runs into a blocker. Meanwhile, Skeletina still trying to sneak her way through. Takes a tumble, goes down to one knee, gets back up. We got skaters going every which way but forward here. Gold Digger dispenses with that last blocker. Pretty good hip feint there. Captain on captain, and gets around Lilu Dallas Multibash. Skeletina's trying to fight her way through. Teammates calling out instructions, trying to help her out. Meanwhile, Gold Digger says, yeah, while you guys are working on that, I'll just sneak my way on through here. Gets by on a scoring pass, and she's not done.
Ooh,
she goes
got
ahead
that
and goes
jammer
on
point.
by. Gold Digger working some veteran magic on Skeletina and ends up skating on through to go through for another scoring pass while Skeletina tries to catch up. Gold Digger says, that's good. Picked up a couple extra points, and she has snuck on through. We'll wait for the official score here. And did pick up exactly 2 more points. That is a 7-point jam. Unfortunately, picked up 7 points, but also picked up a penalty, she did.
Uh-oh.
And we're going to wait here while the regulators talk this one over. As it was setting up, it looked like it was going to be a power jam for the Bombshells and a chance for them to really build on that lead, which is currently at the biggest it's been at 9 points. 39-30 Bombshells. Regulators are going to talk it over, though. Looks like there's still food. It looks like there's still food.
If you guys are hungry, there is still food being served outside at our food trucks. Go check out Off the Hook or check out, you know, the shaved ice if you've got a sweet tooth and you're craving something cold and delicious.
I'm becoming more and more. I'm going to be immobile tomorrow. High as a kite.
Oh.
That's going to be Alibi is going to be doing the jamming for the Coffin Draggers all the way down to the very inside of the track there, going up against Malice Aforethought for the Bombshells. And this jam is underway. One of the Bombshells blockers shoved into Alibi. Both jammers are clear. Malice Aforethought is your lead jammer. Checks behind her. She's about a quarter track ahead, so she knows where she's at. Going to try to get herself a couple of points. Catching up. There's a blocker collision. And Malice Aforethought calls that off just before Alibi rockets past.
She may have gotten all those points, actually. Yep, looks like Alibi was able to squeeze out all 4 points with Malice only getting a couple.
So that's going to be Craven Cadavers setting up to jam for the Coffin Draggers, going up against Scarlet Knockout for the Bombshells. And this one is underway. Both jammers up to the high side of the track, trying to find their way through, waiting for their blockers to try to open up some lanes for them here. The pack makes its way into the backstretch. Big collision there. Both jammers ran into each other. Yeah, they did.
Oh my
Both
goodness.
jammers ended up tumbling down to the infield there. Scarlet Knockout still trying to fight her way through there, waiting for her pivot to try and occupy those Coffin Draggers blockers. Craven Cadavers tried to go by and ended up on the infield, so had to get back up and reestablish. Scarlet Knockout trying to get through. The defensive struggle continues here in this jam and in the game overall. Craven Cadavers still trying to fight through. Still no lead jammer with 15. Now there goes Craven Cadavers. Going to be your lead jammer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are out of beer. I repeat, we are out of beer. Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it is all gone.
Craven Cadavers caught up to the pack, able to pick up at least a couple of points. And just one more time to announce that for everybody, as Hella just mentioned, the beer has been depleted. We are out of beer for the evening. And with that, there's going to be a timeout called by the Bombshells. So they're going to take a second to talk this one over with 10 minutes left in the second quarter. So it's 40-35 Bombshells here while the Bombshells take a second to talk it over. Give themselves a second to catch their breath and talk strategy. As we mentioned, no more beer, unfortunately. Made it pretty far into a doubleheader usually. We almost got to halftime of the second bout.
I was going to say that's pretty good, actually.
Yeah. And as we mentioned also, there is going to still be food, so at halftime, pop on outside, Patriot Shaved Ice and Off the Hook Taco Truck. Their bacon tacos have more bacon than should be allowed by state law, so help yourself to some of that during halftime.
Oh, that sounds amazing. I had one of their chicken tacos earlier, and it was delicious. Oh, my goodness.
So with that whistle, the timeout is all squared away, and we are going to go ahead and line up here. That's going to be Victoria Van Gore doing the jamming for the Coffin Draggers, and she's going up against Skid Vicious for the Bombshells. This jam is underway. Victoria Van Gore ridden off onto the infield by one of the blockers for the Coffin Draggers. Fighting, trying to get through. Skid Vicious trying to fight her way past in the front end of the pack. More stout defense being played by both teams here. More of the same as the pack approaches the far turn here. It's Coffin Draggers blockers. Once they get linked up, it's hard to find purchase. Skid Vicious trying to find a way through. Victoria Van Gore follows one of her blockers, and she is out as your lead jammer. Skid Vicious trying to fight her way by. Managed to get one of the blockers for the Coffin Draggers to take a knee and shook on through. Victoria Van Gore tried to go up, and that blocker for the Bombshells gave it all right there. That was Gold Digger. Flung herself and sacrificed the body to block Victoria Van Gore.
For the love of roller derby, the things we do.
Victoria Van Gore picked up her 4 points, though. Brings it to 40-39 Bombshells. Meanwhile.
Oh, but she picked up a penalty, so it looks like it's going to be a power jam for Malice Forethought.
It's going to be a power jam.
Oh, man. And the penalties on that black bench, it looks like it's going to be slim pickings for the Coffin Draggers.
So we've got 2 blockers out there for the Coffin Draggers. That is going to be
Baba Doom and Lilu Dallas Multibash.
Old Greg's looking at the wrong team again because he's a dummy. Meanwhile, Malice of Forethought comes on around. Those blockers in the back held up the one blocker. Her blocker in the front is good, and still able to dump her down off onto the infield was Lilu Dallas Multibash. Malice of Forethought trying to get by. Lilu Dallas Multibash says, okay, now we're far enough away from the pack, and the referees call her off. Malice of Forethought gets on around, but more importantly, bleeded some time off the clock there. Bled some time, I don't know. Anyway, there's 7 seconds left in the jam. Malice of Forethought goes low, goes high, gets on by, and goes ahead and says, I'm not going to get around the track in 3 seconds, and calls the rest of that jam off.
Oh, what was a 1-point game is now, we had an official timeout.
We're about halfway through the second quarter here, and the regulators are going to take a second to talk that one over.
Who here loves coffee as much as I do? Yeah, all these coffee drinkers. I hope you're getting your coffee from Copper Star Coffee. They are locally owned coffee shop and cafe providing hand-blended drinks and award-winning baked goods. Southwest corner of 7th Avenue and Heather Bray in the Melrose neighborhood, just north of Indian School Road. Go check out Copper Star Coffee. Mugatu looks so serious on the infield right now. I'm really digging those sunglasses.
The regulators have broken their huddle, and we're about to get back underway here. That is going to be Gold Digger lining up for the Bombshells, going up against Ali Bai for the Coffin Draggers. Ali Bai up to the outside, gets shoved into that rail about belt high. Spun herself back around trying to get through. Meanwhile, up on the front end, that's Gold Digger. Out and clear. Our bench lets her know what's going on because Ali Bai is out as well. So Gold Digger's trying to get a couple of points here, see what she can get, and then call this one off. Ended up getting pushed up to the high side, going through that corner. If you remember your geometry, that means she's traveling a further path than the person on the inside, which was giving Ali Bai a chance to catch up, so she called that jam off before scoring any points. That's going to be Skid Vicious setting up on the jammer line for the Bombshells, and that's Craven Cadavers lining up there for the Coffin Draggers. And with that, we are underway with this jam. Craven Cadavers pushed off down onto the infield. Skid Vicious trying to get away through there on the outside. Meanwhile, there they go. And Skid Vicious drops a hip into Craven Cadaver and says, no thank you, I'm the lead jammer, and gets on through and is going to be now heading up the backstretch.
No points for you. That's wow.
Skid goes by on the inside, hops over that coping, picks up her 4 points and calls that one off.
Indeed. Oh no, but it looks like we've got a power jam, and we've got your captain of the Coffin Draggers, Lulu Dallas Multi-Bash, jamming. I love watching Lulu jam. It's one of my favorite things.
This jam is underway. Lulu Dallas Multi-Bash calling out some last-second instructions to her team. Trying to find her way through. That pack barely moving. She's trying to squeeze by on the inside and says, nah, I'll go up to the outside. And that was a good decision because she is free of the pack. The Bombshells are going to try to keep this thing moving. Once again, you can play keep away when you're on the wrong side of a power jam. And Lulu Dallas Multi-Bash now following her blockers. Now going to try to deal with this blocker wall herself. Catches up, but they're able to link up and provide her with some impedance. Now Lulu Dallas Multi-Bash up to the outside, but able to shake her way on through there, able to duck down to the inside of that last Bombshells blocker. However, they ran some time off the clock, and that can be a big thing in a power jam, trying to limit the number of times that jammer can get around. Goes up to the outside, tumbles into the railing.
Some very nice, solid blocking from Scarlet Knockout.
Bombshells definitely limited the amount of damage that could have been done during that jam, a 9-point power jam. Anytime you can hold a power jam to single digits, you are doing defense correct. That's going to be Victoria Van Gore squaring up there on the jammer line for the Coffin Draggers, going up against Gold Digger for the Bombshells, and this one is underway. Gold Digger up to the outside, and she's just right through like a shot. Followed her defense to a T. Checks around behind her and sees that Victoria Van Gore is clear as well, so she'll get one chance here.
Ooh, Victoria Van Gore may have gotten all those points, so let's find out. Ooh, 4-4. It was a wash.
Setting up now on the jammer line is going to be Skeletina for the Coffin Draggers. Again, wearing that stealth helmet. And that's going to be Skid Vicious doing the jamming for the Coffin Draggers. This jam is underway. Skid Vicious up to the outside, able to get by that last blocker for the Coffin Draggers and shakes her way on through. Skeletina's free of the pack as well, as a cheer goes up from the crowd here in the far turn. Skid Vicious ran into some trouble with the pack there, and she goes ahead and calls that one off. Hiking her way up to the top of the track is going to be Gold Digger doing the jamming for the Bombshells, and she's going up against Alibi for the Coffin Draggers. And this jam is underway as well. Pretty full complement of skaters out there, it looks like. And Gold Digger gets her way through on the inside of the track, and she is going to be your lead jammer. Alibi shaking loose as well. Is going to try to catch up, put some pressure on Gold Digger here. Gold Digger fell there and was on her knees, sliding down, able to call the jam off before Alibi could catch up to the pack.
Spanklin D. Roosevelt back up on that jammer line up against Coffin Draggers, Craven Cadavers. Spanklin fighting at the front of the pack while Killer May Smalls is holding Craven in, but she escapes on the inside.
Craven Cadavers is out as your lead jammer. Spanking Lady Roosevelt still trying to tiptoe past those last couple of jammers. Now gets loose.
She's going to try and get
Craven
that jammer
Cadaver's going
point.
to try to catch her, and she does get by to get that point. Craven says, I'm not done. Going to see what she can get here. But as the pack was shaping up, wasn't going to be able to catch anybody before surrendering any points to Spank Lindy. Roosevelt and calls that jam off. We've got your Coffin Draggers captain Lilu Dallas Multibash lining up to jam for her squad versus Skid Vicious for the Bombshells.
Score is getting closer. 59 to Coffin Draggers, 61 Bombshells.
Skid Vicious up to the outside, but Lilu Dallas Multibash found a lane to get through on the inside. And she's gone on around and is going to be your lead jammer here. Skid Vicious still hung up to the inside. Lilu Dallas Multibash hung onto that inside of the track going through the turn. Gets by all 5 skaters. Well, 4 skaters and a penalty point, but still. Catching up again now. Big collision. That was a hard hit. Lilu Dallas Multibash recovers, gets back up on the skates, and she is on through on a scoring pass.
That was such a gnarly hit, and Lilu just acted like it was no big deal. She just kept skating. Amazing.
Lilu up to the very outside, but then ducks back through. And she goes ahead and calls that one off. That's going to be a big old bunch of points for the Coffin Draggers. 15 points. 15 points for your captain of the Coffin Draggers, Lilu Dallas Multibash. And that means that the Coffin Draggers are going to jump ahead here going into halftime. So here we are. It is now time for the halftime break. And as we head into halftime, 74-61, the Coffin Draggers jump back in front on that big jam by Lilu Dallas Multibash. We are going to go ahead and step aside for a 15-minute halftime break. Once again, the food trucks are still out there looking for a bite to eat before you head to Third Space for the after party, which also has really good food. Try that bologna sandwich at Third Space. It's crazy. But we've got our off-the-hook fish taco truck out there right now for you to go up and get yourself a quick snack, quick bite to eat before we get back to the action in the second half. 74-61, Coffin Draggers on top. We'll be back with you in about 14 and a half minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, get out your raffle tickets. We are going to call another winner. We are raffling off a goodie bag as well as a free haircut by my good friend Rachel. She's awesome and does amazing hair, so you'll definitely get a great haircut from this. First raffle winner is 245-4104. 245-4104. Your next raffle winner is going to be 245-4017. Again, that is 245-4017. Come claim your prize if you are the lucky winner. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready and make some noise. We're going to have some more t-shirt throwers come back out on the track. Shout if you like free t-shirts. Make some noise. You guys don't sound like you want a free shirt. Woo, that was a good throw. Ladies and gentlemen, crisis averted. Somebody went on a beer run. There will be more beer shortly. Oh, just kidding. The beer has arrived. There is beer now. Thank you, Hurt. If you haven't noticed, we have a new palette hanging up over by the announcer's booth. Look at the beautiful artwork that Clifton did. It is so gorgeous. I love this. And honestly, if you've ever been interested in having a custom palette created with beautiful hand-painted artwork on it, look no further. Above and Beyond Palette Creations is the place to go. Repurposing palettes into art. They have created all of our signage here in the Hall of Dames, and I love it. I'm a fan. Thank you. Woohoo! This just in 50/50 raffle is up to $725. You have the opportunity to win half of that. That's a lot of cash in your pocket. Help out our minor assaults and buy a 50/50 raffle ticket now. Has anybody out there ever wanted to party with the Derby girl? Well, tonight is your night. Come to our after party at our official after party location at Third Space. Come have a drink. There's going to be a fun costume contest. There's going to be food, drinks, coffee, whatever you want. There's definitely delicious food at Third Space. Come check them out. They are located at 1028 Grand Avenue. Come hang out with your favorite skater at tonight's after party. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to support your favorite teams, come out to the Valkyries fundraiser or the Regulators Chili Cook-Off. They're both having fundraisers this month. Doomsday Valkyries are having a fundraiser at the Yucca Tap Room on November 18th. They are going to be having $2 Black Kamikaze shots, and if you've never had one, well, you can mark it off your list by coming to their fundraiser. And there's going to be games, cheap booze. If you've never been to Yucca, Yucca's a pretty cool place. On November 4th, from 6 to 9 p.m., the Regulators are having their annual chili cook-off. Head down to O'Brien's Sports Bar at 7829 North 35th Avenue in Phoenix. You can enter your recipe or just hang out, eat chili, have a drink with the Arizona Derby Dames. Any of you Derby fans out there looking for a new tattoo artist, look no further. The Lost Dutchman Tattoo Shop is your place to go. They specialize in various styles from realism to traditional. They can customize, or I'm sorry, you can customize your own tattoo. Walk-ins are accepted, located at 4121 North 19th Avenue, east side of 19th Ave, north of Indian School Road. Also, Lost Dutchman is raffling off a $300 gift certificate. So if you're looking for a new tattoo artist and you want to win a gift certificate, buy a raffle ticket. You know what I've had it up to? I've had it up to here with toxic products that make my skin dry and itchy. But you know what doesn't make my skin dry and itchy? Products from Siphon Draw Apothecary. If you have not tried any of Siphon Draw's awesome soaps, salves, lip balm, bath bombs, check it out. They are all natural, non-toxic, handcrafted skincare products made by our very own Dolly de los Muertos. Dolly's a sweetheart, and you can go visit her at the Goldfield Ghost Town on the historic Highway 88, or you can grab any Coffin dragger or bombshell you see tonight, and they can help you get your hands on some amazing skincare products. I've tried so many different things from Dolly's shop, and they are all wonderful. We've got a little bit less than, a little bit more, I'm sorry, than a minute left before we get started with our second half. Be sure to visit your Arizona Derby Dames merch booth to get your favorite league and team merchandise. We have shirts, tank tops, hats, koozies, beach towels, Christmas tree ornaments, as well as stickers and buttons of your favorite team. Go grab some AZDD merch. You guys know who's awesome? Carbon Monoxide. She's pretty great. I like her. She's a pretty stand-up lady. And you know what? She does something incredible. She feeds our children. She provides, with her company, Nutrition One, she provides healthy, great-tasting, and freshly prepared whole foods to local schools valley-wide. Nutrition One works closely with the Department of Education and the USDA to make sure our children are getting what they need daily to stay focused and get the best out of their school lunch. Ooh, 3 seconds left. We're going to get this party started. Everybody's in their positions. Oh, wait, nope, waiting for Castro.
And with that whistle, we are back underway. And it looks like we're going to start this off in style for the Coffin Draggers. It's going to be a power jam for Craven Cadavers. Had a penalty called on the Bombshells jammer there in the last jam before halftime, so that carries over through the break, and Craven Cadavers is on a power jam now. Trying to get through, goes to the inside, manages to keep her skates, and she is through and clear, only coming around on her first scoring attempt. That pack barely moving. You can see the strategy there. The Coffin Draggers trying to hold things up, give their jammer as many opportunities as possible to get on around. But she is hung up on those last two blockers there, and the pack is caught up, so she's got to try to find her way through. Tries to tiptoe to the inside, nothing doing there. Those Bombshells blockers have reformed up in front of her. Still having to deal with them.
Oh, she makes it out for her first scoring pass.
Looks up at the clock. She's got less than 10 seconds to get back around. You can see her picking up the speed there. Trying to catch up to the pack here and get a couple more points. Ran pretty squarely into that blocker of the Bombshells down there on the far end of the front straightaway. And picked up 8 points on that power jam. Is going to push that Coffin Draggers lead up to 21 points now as we start the second half.
Looks like we've got Lily Dallas Multibash back on the jam line up against the Bombshells. Malice of Forethought. They are off to a speedy start. Malice working her way, pushing out that foremost blocker, and she's your lead. But Lilu's right behind her. Let's see if Malice can get any points before she has to call off this jam.
Malice is checking the distance, seeing what she's going to be able to get. Goes ahead and calls it off there as Lily Dallas Multibash was a little too close for comfort coming through that corner.
You know, it was a tough call to make. There was a black blocker that was in the infield. I feel like Malice maybe could have gotten that 1 point, but it's better to be safe than sorry.
Wait, as we set up here with Victoria Van Gore, going to be doing the jamming for the Coffin Draggers, going up against Gold Digger for the Bombshells. Victoria Van Gore up to the outside, run up into the rail. She's going to try to go down the inside, ends up knocking a couple of her own blockers and takes a tumble, and Gold Digger shakes loose as part of the chaos, and she is on and through as the lead jammer here for the Bombshells. Victoria Van Gore trying to go by on the outside, dealing with that pivot, but ends up getting pushed far enough away from the pack that she gets called off. Gold Digger approached the pack, picked up 2 points, and went ahead and called it off.
Ooh, we got Cryptic Callie on the jam line for the first time tonight. Hey, Callie. Ooh, you got lots of fans out there for you. Up against Bombshells, Malice of Forethought. Callie is another one of our newer juniors to graduate out of the program and join the Adult League.
And Cryptic Callie is able to get on through, and she's going to be your lead jammer for the Coffin Draggers. Up, we've got a skater down there just at the entrance to turn number 1, so the action is going to be called off. And with that, she is back upright and wheels on the ground. Medical crew will be taking care of her, just like we said in the first bout. We hope they're not called into action at any point, but when they are top of the line. That's our medical crew here at the Hall of Dames. So we're going to line back up. Lilu Dallas Multi-Bash will be jamming for the Coffin Draggers. And she's going up against another first-time jammer, this time for the Bombshells. That is Rough Rider.
Woo, Mama Ruff is on the jam line. Girl, oh my God, get it.
And this is underway. Lilu Dallas Multi-Bash had one blocker to negotiate and gets on by. Rough Rider shakes loose as well. Lilu checks back behind her. Half a track ahead almost exactly. Ducks to the outside. Ends up running into a blocker. Picked up a couple points and she goes ahead and calls that one off.
Coffin Draggers pick up 2 points in that last jam, bringing their score 84 to 63.
That's going to be Craven Cadavers jamming for the Coffin Draggers, going up against Malice Aforethought for the Bombshells. Both jammers spring off that jammer line, and this one is underway. Malice tries to go to the inside, being matched step by step by the blocker for the Coffin Draggers, and Craven Cadavers is free on the front end. Look at that. Malice Aforethought is blasted through the corner. Craven checks behind her, sees what she's got going on. Try to pick up a couple of points here. Solid wall of blockers back behind her. She gets through and gets a couple of points. Just went headlong in there, and skaters tumbling down like bowling pins there coming into the far turn.
Oh, looks like Coffin Draggers picked up 0 points in that last jam, but Malice was able to pick up a point.
Regulators calling out some penalties here. Setting up on the jammer line is going to be Gold Digger for the Bombshells and Victoria Van Gore for the Coffin Draggers. Gold Digger to the inside. Dispenses with a blocker there and is out and free as your lead jammer.
That may be a penalty. We'll find out what happens at the end of the jam.
Victoria Van Gore clears the pack as well. Now those blockers are going to see what they can do to try and get their captain on through. Gold Digger gets on by, picks up all 4 of those points and calls that jam off. Setting up the jam now is going to be Lilu Dallas Multi-Bash of the Coffin Draggers, going up against Malice Aforethought again for the Bombshells. Waiting for penalties to get sorted out and things along those lines. Regulators hollering it out, 1 blocker down for the Coffin Draggers, and now we're about all set to get this one going. And it's underway. Lilu Dallas Multi-Bash up to the outside. Tried to duck to the inside and sneak by, but that last blocker for the Bombshells wasn't having it. And Malice Aforethought, in the meantime, is able to dispose of her final blocker, and she's her lead jammer for the Bombshells. Lilu Dallas Multi-Bash dodges that last one. A little bit of a hip feint there. Malice Aforethought now goes up to the outside. Able to crash into that blocker. Had the momentum. Physics at work there, kids. Stay in school. Science is awesome. And the Bombshells pick up 4 big points.
And another official timeout.
And now we're underway, and this is going to be a power jam for Cryptic Kaylee. That's what the regulators were talking about. Cryptic Kaylee is your jammer for the Coffin Draggers, fighting her way through that last blocker. I mean, just not being denied, and gets through and is clear. Going to be coming around here for her first scoring attempt.
She is a strong skater. It's hard to keep her contained.
Just muscled her way through there like a fullback. Ends up taking a tumble. Cryptic Callie again doing battle there on the front end of the pack, trying to push her way through those blockers. Blockers are getting leverage, but she ends up getting through on a scoring pass. 20 seconds left in the jam, and she's going to see if she can get around and do some more damage here on this power jam. I was calling her Kaylee. That's not her name. It's Callie. I'm sorry. Bombshells are keeping that pack moving, trying to keep it away from Callie. And we're able to prevent her from scoring any more points. She picked up 5 points in that power jam and pushes that lead up to 89-72 Coffin Draggers with 7 minutes to go here in the third quarter. And we're going to have another official timeout so the regulators can sort a couple more things along those lines.
Black 100 has been ejected for accumulating 7 penalty points.
So you heard it there first. Cryptic Callie unfortunately picked up a penalty on that power jam, and that is going to do it for her this evening. But she got out there and got to score 5 points.
Looks like Skid Vicious is taking the line for a Bombshells power jam.
Big Bombshells power jam here, and they've got a blocker advantage as well. So we'll see if they're able to hack into that lead. They're down 17 at this point. Skid Vicious runs into Lilu Dallas multi-bash. Lilu loses her balance. Skid Vicious is through. The Bombshells are going to try to hold up the progress here. Keep that pack moving forward as infinitesimally as possible. There goes Skid Vicious. Plows into a blocker there. They both take a tumble, but she's back up on her wheels. Is going to be pushing her way on through.
We might have another power jam on our hands. We'll find out after this.
Skid Vicious to the outside, ducks to the inside. Follows with an escort from Malice Aforethought, who ends up getting dumped onto the infield unceremoniously. Skid Vicious trying to get around now and catch that pack one more time. See if she can put some more points on the board. Coffin Draggers are pushing that pack ahead now. Here comes Skid, up to the outside, hanging on, goes to the inside, gets knocked off onto the infield. Recollects herself and says, that's going to do it. And yes, indeed. Excellent spot by my cohort, Hella Rude. Penalty called on Skid Vicious during that last one. But we have a timeout called by the Bombshells.
Yeah, it looked like when she came around for that scoring pass, she was going really speed. Her momentum carried her, and she collided with a black blocker and knocked her over in the back. So she got a back block. Let's see how many points Bombshells just picked up. Oh, looks like they got 15 points in that last power jam. Whoa, look at that score.
The Bombshells did call a timeout there, so we're going to talk this one over, but we're just under 6 minutes to go in the third quarter, and this game is throw a blanket over them, man. It is neck and neck. Couple of good bouts tonight, let me tell you.
Where are the Bombshells people? They could use some love right now. Where are my loyal Dragger fans? Where are you at? There you go.
Who's just here from the first bout and checking out this bout and enjoying roller derby? One guy, thank you. Exactly one person, I appreciate that. That's when you know your humor is landing. Craven Cadavers is going to be up there, and this is, again, a power jam for the Coffin Draggers, so now a chance for them to put some points back on the board, make up for that 15-point power jam they just gave up. Clock is moving. That pack just got off to a springy start there. Heading on through the corner there. Craven Cadavers goes up to the outside, now trying to follow that. She's following the lead. The whole pack coming around the far turn, now heading down the front straightaway. Craven Cadaver is now going to try to get by those blockers, and she is through and clear of the pack. Thought I'd call it like a horse race there for a second.
Killamay Smalls and Scarlet Knockout doing a great job of playing defense when there are only 2 of them out there.
We're halfway through the clock on this power jam. You got your 2 blockers out there on the front end for the Bombshells doing what they can. Craven Cadaver is able to sneak through, though. But again, when it's 5-on-2, they'll do what they can, but it just becomes a numbers game at some point. Craven Cadavers catches up now and able to dodge a hit being thrown by one of the Bombshells blockers down there in the corner, and the clock is going to expire. So we'll wait for the official score, and it is in fact 10 points. So Craven puts 10 points back on the board for the Coffin Draggers. 99-87 Coffin Draggers here. And we're going to be squaring up for this. No, we're not. We're going to take an official timeout. So they're going to talk that one over.
While they're deliberating, let's talk about our sponsors. Sorry.
Black 8 has been ejected for accumulating 7 penalty points.
Aw, bye, Ginger. I love you, Ginger. We have some very upset fans in the crowd. Elizabeth Shaler is not happy about this ejection.
So we are back to the action after that announcement of ejection. It's going to be a captain-on-captain jammer battle here. It's Lilu Dallas Multi-Bash for the Coffin Draggers and Gold Digger for the Bombshells. And Lilu Dallas Multi-Bash is out and clear as her lead jammer. Checks around behind her. She's half a track ahead of Gold Digger. Lilu's going to get what she can, but their pack has now picked up some speed. Oh! Going through that corner there. Killamay Smalls just gave her a nudge. It was enough to knock her off her axis, and she hit the ground hard on her hindquarters. But picked up a couple of points and called off the jam.
But pun intended.
We're going to take a second here to talk that one over as well.
Looks like they're in the triple digits now. Bombshells not far behind, 87. Bombshells, 103. Coffin Draggers.
Regulators have everything sorted out there. Looks like we're getting some penalties tracked by the penalty trackers. Setting up the jam here is going to be Victoria Van Gore for the Coffin Draggers, and she is going up against Dirty Carey. Again, those yellow knee pads, thank you so much. And Dirty Carey right down to the inside of the track, and she is out and clear and free as your lead jammer. Victoria Van Gore up against that rail, trying to get clear of the pack. Meanwhile, tries to go up to the outside. Dirty Carey says, that's cool. That's cool. I'll just sneak on through here while nobody's looking, and she is through on a scoring pass. Victoria Van Gore still doing battle, able to shake free there, and she is out of the pack as well. Dirty Carey's going to try to get a couple more points here. Dirty Carey able to get by there. We'll see if they were able to score any points there. Yep.
Oh, Van Gore was Coffin Draggers picked up 4 points in that last jam.
Dirty Carey picked up 9 points, but the Coffin Draggers able to get 4 of their own before she called the jam off. Setting up now is going to be Gold Digger for the Bombshells, and Craven Cadavers is going to be doing the jamming for the Coffin Draggers. Craven Cadavers sticking to her line, following her blockers, and she is out and clear. checks around behind her at the behest of her bench and notices that Gold Digger is right on her tail, so Craven Cadaver is going to and eyeball the pack and say, Calls off the jam, no points for either side, and we proceed. Lilu Dallas Multi-Bash is going to be jamming for the Coffin Draggers, going up against Skid Vicious for the Bombshells. This jam is underway. Both jammers kind of surveying the land. Skid Vicious, there she goes. She is on her way through. Lilu Dallas Multi-Bash tumbled down to the infield. Skid Vicious on her way through. Skid tried to follow her blockers here. He tried to duck to the inside. Almost got by, but ended up tumbling onto the infield. Gets up and reestablishes and calls that jam off at the last second. Called it off, took a bump from Lilu Dallas Multi-Bash on the way by. Took a tumble, they gave each other a wave. It's good, it's all good, it's cool, it's all good.
Red picks up another 4 points in that last jam. The score is closing again.
We've got Victoria Van Gore setting up the jam for the Coffin Draggers and Gold Digger for the Bombshells. Waiting on some penalties to be called out.
Uh-oh. Looks like Lilu got called for a illegal block, so it looks like it might be a power jam for the Bombshells.
Yep.
Yeah,
sort that one out.
When the whistle is blown, if you make contact, I believe, after the whistle is blown with anybody, it is considered an illegal block, but I'm not sure that that is what they called. We'll find out. Looks like Black is challenging the penalty dropped on Lilu.
At this point in the bout, neck and neck, back and forth, lead changes going every which way. Definitely don't want to give up a power jam if there's a chance. You don't have to, so we will wait for the regulators to talk this one over. Fans, don't forget, if you're looking for something to do after the bout, you can follow all the cars with Derby stickers down to third space, the official after-party location of the Derby Dames. Cafe, bar, coffee, shops, music, giant patio. It's, the weather, come on, be serious. The weather, it's so nice. Sit on the patio with your friends, buy some shots for your favorite skaters. Third space, 1028 Grand Avenue. Tonight for Halloween, the Derby Dames are doing a costume contest, so do not miss out on that. Regulators still huggling. They're huddling. They're not huggling. I don't even know what a huggle is. Like a muggle that likes to give you a hug. I don't know.
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Oh,
regulators are huddling there in the backstretch and discussing this one. Obviously want to make sure they get this call right because the power jam at this point could really sway the balance of the game.
Definitely. This is a complete game changer if the Bombshells end up with a power jam. So they definitely need some time to deliberate what they saw.
Fans, don't forget, before the next bout, the Derby Dames are working with St. Mary's Food Bank to help keep food on the tables of Arizona communities. They have set up donation boxes by the ticket booth for collecting your non-perishable food donations. Thank you for donating. So keep that in mind for the next bout if you've got a odd can of no salt added green beans in your pantry like me, because I don't know why I bought that. Who wants no salt added green beans? So you can bring those down and donate them before the next bout. We're waiting to see here. We're going to get the results of the challenge here momentarily.
Everybody's going back to their benches. Let's find out what the result is. Well, Leilu's still in the penalty box, so I am going to go ahead and guess that the penalty stands. It is going to be a power jam for your Bombshells. Let's hear it for our Bombshells fans.
Setting up to do this power jam is your Bombshells captain, Gold Digger. They are jostling for position there in that pack. Gold Digger tries to go up to the outside, gets pushed into the rail, then tries to duck down to the inside, but that first blocker there, takes a hard shot to the back.
Wow.
Got cleared out of the way.
That was some great defensive blocking by Coffin Dragger Zombaby.
Gold Digger races by on the inside of the track. You hear the roar go up from the crowd as she was able to get through with barely any interference.
Although I did possibly see a potential penalty. We'll find out if the refs saw the same thing.
Coffin Draggers are pushing the pace here, trying to keep that pack moving. Gold Digger goes to the outside, then ducks to the inside. Zombaby doing what she can up there on the front end of it, trying to hold her up. But Gold Digger able to get on by her there on the outside. But Zombaby did hold her up and bled some time off the clock. And Gold Digger says, yeah, you're right. Goes ahead and calls off that jam. That was a 10-point power jam there for Gold Digger, and that puts the Bombshells back up on top. 110-107. Y'all better not go anywhere. It's going to be one heck of a fourth quarter, let me tell you that.
Indeed.
Waiting to get the official word here, and there is indeed going to be one more jam. And with that, Craven Cadavers is your lead jammer for the Coffin Draggers. She is out and clear. See if she can steal some points here and put her team back on top before we head into the fourth quarter. Craven Cadavers up to the outside. A bunch of hard tumbles. Craven Cadavers tripping over one of her teammates there. Gets back up behind the pack. Meanwhile, that Bombshells jammer still fighting her way through. Almost able to hang on to the inside of the track with Skid Vicious. Ends up tumbling down, and Craven Cadavers gets on through the pack on her first scoring pass.
We may have another lead change after this jam.
Craven Cadavers coming around. Is going to survey the landscape here. Picks aside, tries to duck to the inside, hangs onto the inside of the track, keeps her feet, and able to stay upright, heading on around again. They're not doing anything. Skid Vicious not able to get any kind of momentum going there. And the jam clock expires. Craven Cadavers will wait for confirmation.
That was some great defensive blocking by the Coffin Draggers. Wow.
So 10 points there on that jam for Craven Cadavers. That puts the Coffin Draggers back on top, 117-110. And as you can see, we have entered our quarter break because we've got T-shirts going out for the last time. Let them hear it if you'd like to pick yourself up a Derby Dames T-shirt.
Ooh, it looks like maybe it's a Derby Dames towel. Everybody needs towels, right?
Some sort of bundled cloth thing. All right, Derby fans, as we have moved on into our last quarter break of the evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, get out your raffle tickets. We're going to call some more raffle winners. These are the last raffle prizes we have tonight, and then we're going to call that 50-50 raffle at the end of the game. So our next winners are 245-4203. We have 245-4077. I hear a winner. 245-4138.
All right, if that's any of your numbers, get on up there and claim your prizes with that big $300 gift certificate to Lost Dutchman out there. If it is not claimed, we are going to redraw. So get yourselves on over here and claim your prize if you're one of those raffle winners.
Also, ladies and gentlemen, it is last call for beer. I repeat, last call for beer. So if you'd like to get a refill before the night is over, now is your chance. Otherwise, they are shutting down the beer garden. Ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are having fun tonight, come back and see us next month for our next two games of season 13. November 11th is the date. Remember, November 11th, this will be another doubleheader with the Brutal Beauties taking on the Schoolyard Scrappers. And for the second bout, it will be the Bombshells taking on the Doomsday Valkyries. Doors open at 5. First whistle is at 6 p.m. Also, Derby fans, don't forget about our blood drive happening tomorrow. The Arizona Derby Dames is partnering with the American Red Cross to hold a blood drive Sunday, October 29th. Yes, tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. right here at the Hall of Dames. The American Red Cross will have a full blood drive station set up, so come donate next to your favorite ACDD skaters. Rachel Tracy wants someone to bring her food. If you're feeling like you want to go grab Racy Tracy a snack and bring it up to the announcer's booth, she'll love you forever. All right, we are about to get started in our fourth and final quarter of the night. This has been quite the exciting game. I am very interested to see how the rest of this is going to turn out.
So it looks like here as we get ready to start this fourth quarter, before the clock even starts, the Coffin Draggers are challenging a penalty that was called in the last jam of the third quarter. I did see Panda Face kill a step-in to head referee Reverend Knuckleface, so obviously explaining their challenge. So we will wait to see and get the official word on what's going on. I do see a couple of Coffin Draggers sitting in the penalty box. Coffin Draggers have used up their last challenge of the evening, so they have no more to use.
Oh, they're challenging points. I see. Well, so they got 10 points in the last jam, right? 10 points? Okay, so let's see.
The discussion continues now with the regulators as we wait to get underway here in the fourth quarter. I got to start doing Zumba or something. Old Greg is wore out, man. Been a couple of really high action bouts here, and whew. Obviously, with this close of a bout going on, every point is going to be critical. So now they have arrived at a solution, and Reverend Knuckleface going to go over with a representative from each team. We'll wait to get the official word up here. And then we'll get the fourth quarter underway.
You guys seem very quiet. It seems very calm and mellow in the Hall of Dames right now. Who's excited about some roller derby? There we go. This is a pretty exciting game, guys. Like, let's get a little hyped up about it. After some deliberation, the points challenge stands. So the score remains 117 to 110.
Lining up on the jammer line is your two captains. That's Lilu Dallas Multi-Bash jamming for the Coffin Draggers and Gold Digger jamming for the Bombshells. And Gold Digger is out and free and is going to be your lead jammer. Checks around behind her. Lilu Dallas Multi-Bash is hot on her tail as they come down the front straightaway. Kind of barrel through that first turn. And Gold Digger says, hey, I don't think I'm going to be able to get back to the pack in time. So she calls that jam off. Now lining up on the jammer line for the first time this evening for the Coffin Draggers is Reckless Rose. And jamming for the Bombshells is going to be Malice Aforethought. Tightly bunched pack, both jammers trying to find their way through. Reckless Rose goes down to a knee, trying to get back up, slaps the track in frustration and gets back up to her wheels. Meanwhile, pushed off down to the infield, Malice of Forethought also, so neither jammer able to really get a whole lot of purchase. That back wall of blockers for the Coffin Draggers is impenetrable, and Malice of Forethought still stuck back there. Meanwhile, up on the front end, yeah, Reckless Rose still trying to dispense with those last three blockers of the Bombshells. Crowd's letting them hear it. And Reckless Rose shakes away on by. Reckless Rose is your lead jammer. Going to try to catch up here. A lot of yelling going on here as the pack crawls by us. Reckless Rose right into her own blockers, unfortunately, and knocks both of them down. Going to have to get up and reestablish.
Oh, I'm hearing lots of commentary from the side. Lots of very passionate fans.
Hard fall to the infield by Laura Stabs, but she did go ahead and get herself back over to the bench.
Yeah, that last jam looked crazy. I don't know what was going on in that last jam. A lot of weird stuff. They are deliberating some calls. We'll find out shortly what they are talking about. Uh-oh. It might possibly be a power jam in favor of the Coffin Draggers, but we'll find out. Oh, wow, we got a whole list of penalties on both sides.
And we do have another challenge being called here. Bombshells are going to be challenging, don't want to assume, but more than likely the penalty on their jammer there. Be pretty painful to give up a power jam here to the Coffin Draggers when they're only down by 10.
There's a red challenge.
We'll wait to get the official word. The regulator's going to tuck this one over the backstretch. So Derby fans, have you ever had a black kamikaze shot? Well, you can mark it off the list while you join the Doomsday Valkyries on November 18th. The team is hosting a fundraiser at the Yucca Tap Room starting at 10 p.m. There will be Derby Girls, $2 black kamikaze shots, drinking games, and cheap booze. That is a fundraiser for your Doomsday Valkyries.
Also, our regulators are having a chili cook-off for their fundraiser. So if you like chili, you want to maybe enter a recipe in or just come and hang out, the regulators are having their chili cook-off on November 4th from 6 to 9 p.m. Head down to O'Brien's Sports Bar, 7829 North 35th Avenue in Phoenix. Well, it looks like the penalty against Malice of Forethought stands, and it's going to be a power jam for your Coffin Draggers. Let's hear it, Coffin Dragger fans.
So with that lost challenge by the Bombshells, they lose a timeout because the challenge was upheld and not overturned. And with no more timeouts, there's no more challenges. So neither side has any challenges or timeouts left. And as Hella mentioned, it's going to be a power jam. Craven Cadavers is out there doing the honors for the Coffin Draggers. Quickly moving pack, racing around the corner, going down the back straightaway. She's going to run into those two blockers for the Bombshells. Just those two blockers out there for both sides. Minimum number of skaters possible here with 5. Still bumping into those blockers, but they end up getting called off. And Craven Cadavers is out and clear and will be coming around for a scoring attempt. Now the Bombshells are going to try to keep this pack moving. Playing keep away. If you can't catch them, you can't pass them. If you can't pass them, you can't score. Here comes Craven Cadavers now. He's going to try to catch up to this group here. Tries to go down to the inside. Keeps her balance. Coming through turn number 2 on a scoring pass and is going to try to catch up again. Craven Cadavers trying to catch up, but the whistle goes, and that's going to do it for the jam as the clock expires. Lining up now to jam for the Bombshells is going to be Gold Digger, and that's going to be... I forgot her name. I'm the worst. Victoria Van Gore. And she is your lead jammer. I've only been calling her name all night long. I don't know. Victoria Van Gore is your lead jammer for the Coffin Draggers. Meanwhile, Gold Digger is able to get that last blocker pushed far enough away to be called out of play. Victoria Van Gore just rockets right through on the inside of the track. And she goes ahead and calls off the jam with Gold Digger being out in front of her. So Victoria Van Gore picks up those 4 points.
We got Mal back on the jammer line up against Lilu Dallas Multibash. Uh-oh. Rough Rider loves you, Stabs.
And we're underway. Malice of Forethought gets bumped off onto the infield. Lilu Dallas Multibash trying to find her way through the middle of the pack. Malice of Forethought up high, runs into those blockers of the Coffin Draggers, not able to get through. Lilu Dallas Multibash ducks down to the inside, end up skidding to the infield. Not clear yet. Gets back up behind that last blocker, and now Lilu Dallas Multibash is your lead jammer for the Coffin Draggers.
There is some great defensive blocking happening from Laura Stabs. Wow, she is just so controlled and not letting that jammer have any wiggle room. Even throwing her own blocker into the infield to stop that jammer.
Lilu Dallas Multibash ends up just following Malice of Forethought right through. Gets by her, nudges that hip out in front, picks up that last point, and then calls off the jam. 10 big points for the Coffin Draggers. This is going to push that lead out to 139-110. Coffin Draggers trying to put this one away as we are under 10 minutes to go here in the bout.
This has been quite the game. Oh my goodness.
A few instructions being called out here. We've got 2 Coffin Draggers in the penalty box. So 2 in the penalty box. Yeah, that's okay. Craven Cadavers is going to be jamming for the Coffin Draggers, going up against Gold Digger for the Bombshells. But before we can get to that, we are going to have an official timeout to sort things out.
Black 27 has been ejected for accumulating 7 penalty points.
See you later, Stabs. You fought hard.
Now we'll regroup and get that underway. Craven Cadavers and Gold Digger once again. Setting up the jam here. We'll get ready to get this going. Pack moves through the corner. Both jammers kind of run up into each other there, going up to the top of the rail. And Craven Cadavers is out, and she is your lead jammer. Looking around, looking behind her. Catching up to the pack. Goes to the inside and ends up getting knocked off on the infield. Was trying to bleed some more time off the clock. Ended up getting bumped onto the infield and couldn't call off the jam. Loses lead jammer status to Gold Digger, who's now trying to get around. It's now her privilege to call off the jam. And she does so. Strategy there, trying to play the strategy game. Ended up backfiring at the last second for Craven Cadavers. So net gain of 4 points for the Bombshells there, as Craven Cadavers was able to get 4 points of her own. We've got another official timeout called by the Magnificent Moose.
Black, 1029, has been ejected for accumulating 7 penalty points.
See you later, Reckless Rose.
We're back underway. At this point of this bout, this has been a hard-fought battle, and attrition is going to start to become a problem at some point. Lack of skaters being out there, skaters that have to go every other jam are going to start getting tuckered out. So,
you know, there's 8 minutes left, but this is still a pretty close game. Anything can happen.
Skid Vicious was able to hang on to the inside of the track there and blast her way through as the lead jammer for your Bombshells. Bombshells trying to get back into this thing. They're currently down by 25. Meanwhile, shaken loose is going to be Victoria Van Gore. Skid Vicious right through on the inside. Great blocking there by her squad. Able to get by completely untouched. 4 more points on the board for the Bombshells. Now the lead's down to 21 with about 7.5 minutes left to go. That's going to be Lilu Dallas Multi-Bash jamming for the Coffin Draggers. But first, we've got another penalty to announce.
Ooh, Scarlet knockout with directional
Red,
block.
222, has been ejected for accumulating 7 penalty points.
Aw, bye, Scarlet.
Scarlet Knockout's going to take a seat now. And we'll go ahead and get back up there and reformulate. So as I was saying, Lilu Dallas Multi-Bash jamming for the Coffin Draggers, and Dirty Carry jamming for the Bombshells. This jam is underway. Lilu Dallas Multi-Bash followed her blockers. Only 2 blockers out there for the Bombshells. Big advantage for the Coffin Draggers. Lilu Dallas Multi-Bash was easily able to get through the pack there as they held it up for her. Gets on by. Ooh, lost her balance. Hangs on. Dirty Carry now clear of the pack as well. Lilu Dallas Multi-Bash checks over her back shoulder. Going to try to bleed some of that clock here, I'm sure. Trying to catch up to the pack. The Coffin Draggers pushing the pack ahead. And calls it off. At this point, the clock is the Coffin Draggers' friend. And a penalty was called on Dirty Carry in that last one. And I see Mike and Reverend Knuckleface's hand again.
Black, 7656, has been ejected for accumulating 7 penalty points.
Zombaby is going to take a seat. And we're back underway. So let's go ahead and sort this one out one more time. That is going to be Craven Cadavers doing the jamming for the Coffin Draggers. And she's going up against Skid Vicious for the Bombshells. Getting everything sorted out here. Skid Vicious up to the outside, trying to fight her way through. Now ducks down to the inside, and Skid Vicious is your lead jammer for the Bombshells. Craven Cadaver still trying to fight her way through that pack. Those blockers for the Bombshells doing their job. And now Craven is out as well. Skid Vicious takes a look at that, knows what the situation is. Skid gets up, runs into one of her own blockers, lost her balance, got knocked just off balance by that blocker for the Coffin Draggers. Gets up, reestablishes, and calls it off. So Skid Vicious puts 4 points on the board for the Bombshells. And we're underway with Victoria Van Gore and Gold Digger. Gold Digger tries to hang on to the inside. Victoria Van Gore up to the outside.
Ooh, a sneaky
And
little
we did
pin
have
pass.
we did have a pass. Victoria Van Gore passes that on over.
Get it, Vava. Go, Vava Doom.
Vava
This is,
Doom
the
is
first
now
time
your
she's
lead
jamming.
jammer for the Coffin Draggers. Gold Digger was able to get out of the pack. Vava Doom calls that one off and picks up 4 more points for the Coffin Draggers. And runs almost a full minute off the clock in the process. Now setting up the jam is again Lilu Dallas multi-bash for the Draggers. And it's going to be Skid Vicious again for the Bombshells. But we have a power jam for the Bombshells. Look at this. Power jam for the Bombshells. This could be a big chance for them to get back in the game with 5 minutes remaining. Penalty was called on one of the jammers for the Coffin Draggers that last time out. Skid Vicious now following her blockers, blast her way through, and she's going to be making her way around as fast as she can, trying to get the Bombshells back into this thing. Coffin Draggers are pushing the pace, trying to keep that pack moving and prevent Skid Vicious from being able to catch up. Now following her blockers, somebody puts a skate into the track with force. Tumble down, those 3 lead blockers for the Coffin Draggers, and Skid Vicious slides onto the infield. Has to get up, reestablish behind those blockers. Pushed off onto the infield again. Good defense on the front end there by the Coffin Draggers.
Bombshells are going to have to help their jammer out if they want her to get some more scoring points
Coffin
on the board.
Draggers defenders are, and that is going to do it for that jam. Excellent penalty kill there. Penalty kill by the Coffin Draggers.
And there's another timeout.
Sorting out the points there. It's going to be a 4-point power jam for the Bombshells there again. Excellent penalty kill by the Coffin Draggers. Regulators are still talking this one over. We're going to see what's going on. And as Reverend Knuckleface was pointing out, watch out for those light switches along the wall.
Red 777 has been ejected for accumulating 7 penalty points.
Bye-bye, Rough Rider.
Rough Rider takes a seat. If we keep going like this, you might have to recruit people from the audience to throw some skates on. Yowza. That's Victoria Van Gore going to jam for the Coffin Draggers, and that is Dirty Carey jamming for the Bombshells. Victoria Van Gore able to get on through the pack, and she is your lead jammer. Dirty Carey shakes free as well. Victoria checks over, sees where she's at. Tried to go to the outside, ran into a blocker for the Bombshells, gets on through, and she calls that jam off.
Ooh, Dirty Carey may have been able to pick up 1 point. We'll find out.
Dirty Carey was able to get by a couple of skaters before that was called off. Little more than 3 minutes to go in regulation. Lilu Dallas multi-bash is lining up to jam for the Coffin Draggers. And she is going up against Impaler Swift for the first time for the Bombshells. Impaler Swift is your jammer for the Bombshells. Had to
That
check
is
the score sheet.
That is Spanklin D. Roosevelt jamming for the Bombshells.
Lelu Dallas multi-bash. Was that? Yeah, Spanklin. Sorry. That is Spanklin D. Roosevelt. Lelu Dallas multi-bash knocks a couple of blockers out of the way and is able to shake her way on through the pack. Halfway through this jam, 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the game. Lelu tries to get by. Dodged that elbow from the last blocker, was able to hop over the coping and stay on the track. Spanklin D. Roosevelt still trying to get through the pack here. Lelu Dallas multi-bash runs up to the outside, onto the inside, almost hung on to the inside of the track there, but unable to keep it. Gets back up behind the pack, and that's going to do it.
Uh-oh, let's see, this might very well be another power jam.
Black 23 has been ejected for accumulating 7 penalty points.
See you later, Lelu.
And with that penalty being called on Lelu Dallas multi-bash during that jam, in which she scored 15 huge points and really, really, really pumped up the lead for the Coffin Draggers, we are going to have a power jam now, and Gold Digger is going to do the honors for the Bombshells. 172-133 Coffin Draggers. They stretch this lead out to almost 40 points here with just under 2 minutes to go. Penalty box is full of Coffin Draggers here. Only 2 blockers out there. Big advantage here for the Bombshells, and this one is underway. Gold Digger is going to see what she can do about scoring some points. Gets on by and will be coming around for her first scoring attempt.
This is a big opportunity for the Bombshells to capitalize on. Let's see what they do with this power jam.
And Gold Digger gets by on her first scoring pass. 2 points for the ones she passed and 3 points for the ones in the penalty box, and it's coming around again halfway through this jam. Goes up to the outside. Her blocker's able to hold that one up. Nifty little hand signal there. Gold Digger shakes her way on through again. Her blocker's holding things up for her. And that's going to do it for that jam. We'll wait for the official score. 15 points for the Bombshells, but we are getting down to where the clock is not on the Bombshells side, Derby fans. Setting up on the jammer line is going to be Victoria Van Gore for the Coffin Draggers, going up against Dirty Carey for the Bombshells. Under 30 seconds to go in regulation. This could well be the last jam of the night. Dirty Carey had an open path but lost her balance, took a tumble, fell to her hands and knees, and meanwhile sneaking by on the inside is Victoria Van Gore for the Coffin Draggers. Dirty Carey lost her footing coming through the corner. Victoria Van Gore was collided with Dirty Carey trying to reestablish herself on the track. There, Dirty Carey able to shake free and get clear of the pack. Victoria Van Gore gets on by and she says, that's enough. Picks up her points and calls that one off, and we will wait for the official word. The regulators are going to review and see if any penalties need to be assessed. We'll see if we have any bonus jam action going on here.
Well, I see a Coffin Dragger in the box, so that tells me there's probably going to be a penalty jam.
We got a penalty jam, so one more time we have penalty jams, sort of like overtime. The game cannot end if a penalty was called on the team in front and no penalties called on the team behind. So, we do have at least one bonus jam here with no time left on the clock. So we have entered into overtime here and sneaking our way on through. And your lead jammer there for the Bombshells is Skid Vicious. Skid trying to get up there, ends up tumbling into that blocker for the Coffin Draggers. And she goes ahead and calls off the jam rather than surrender any points.
Wow, let's see if there's another penalty jam after that one.
We will wait and see.
Red picked up 2 points in that last jam.
And with that whistle, that is going to do it.
Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to call the 50-50 raffle in just a moment.
With a final score of 176 to 150, your Coffin Draggers are victorious. Fans, come on down to trackside and get a high five from your favorite skater as they make their way on through.
What a game.
Here come the victorious Coffin Draggers for their victory lap. Hard-fought battle all around, all those lead changes, and it just kind of ended up being where the Coffin Draggers just too much for the Bombshells to overcome there in the fourth quarter. And fans, let's have a hand for the Bombshells as they come on around as well. Excellent game played all around in both bouts tonight, really. Action was really good all the way through.